I never thought I'd dial 911. Because of my own daughter, the words didn't feel real even as my fingers hovered over the screen. Mia wasn't always like this. She used to leave little notes in my bag, "Love you, Mom," even when she was too old for it. She'd binge old movies with me on weekends, curled up under a blanket like the world outside didn't exist. But somewhere along the way, something changed. It started with distance, closed doors, late nights, new friends with names that never quite stuck. Then came the lies, money missing, strange calls at odd hours, the kind of tension that makes a house feel unfamiliar. I told myself it was normal. Teenagers drift. They come back, don't they? Then one night, everything broke. A loud crash jolted me awake. I rushed downstairs to find the back door wide open, the lock hanging loose like it had been forced. Cold air flooded the house, and there she was, Mia, standing in the kitchen, frozen, her hands trembling. "Mia, what happened?" I asked, my voice barely holding together. She didn't look at me. "They know where I live," she whispered. My chest tightened. "Who?" She shook her head, backing away. "You wouldn't understand." And just like that, she was gone. Upstairs, door slammed. That was the moment fear settled in and refused to leave. A few days later, 2 men showed up. Not neighbors, not delivery. They didn't smile. "We're looking for Mia," one of them said. "For what?" I asked. Their silence said enough. "You should ask her," the other replied. That night, I did. And for the first time in her life, she looked at me like I was a stranger. "You should have stayed out of it," she snapped. "I'm your mother," I said. "I am in it." Her laugh was cold, hollow. "You have no idea what you're talking about." Maybe I didn't, but I knew something was wrong, and I knew it was getting worse. Then came the night I'll never forget. 2:17 a.m. I woke up to voices, low, urgent, not hers. My heart started racing as I stepped into the hallway. The house was dark, but a faint light spilled from under Mia's door. And then I heard it, a man's voice. I moved closer, every step heavier than the last. The door was slightly open, and when I looked inside, my world shattered. 3 men stood in her room. Strangers. One of them was holding a gun. Mia stood in the center, her face pale, wide with fear. Real fear. "You think you can just disappear?" one of them said, grabbing her arm. She flinched, and then, she looked at the door, at me. For a split second, I didn't see the distant, angry girl she'd become. I saw my little girl again. "Mom," she whispered. That was it. That was the moment everything inside me broke. I stepped back silently, my hands shaking so badly I almost dropped my phone. "You don't call the police on your own child." That thought screamed in my head. But then I thought about the gun, the men, the fear in her eyes. And suddenly, it became clear. I wasn't calling the police on her. I was calling them for her. My fingers moved before I could stop them. My voice was barely a whisper as I gave the address, every second feeling like it might be my last before they noticed. Then sirens, loud, piercing, closing in. Everything exploded into chaos. Shouting, running, a crash, someone yelling to get down. I ran to her room just as officers burst in. The men tried to escape, but they didn't make it far. And Mia, she collapsed to the floor, shaking, alive. When it was over, when the flashing lights faded and the silence came back, she looked at me, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't know what to do," she said. "I was scared." I dropped to my knees and held her, tighter than I ever had before. "You should have told me," I whispered. "I thought I could fix it myself," she said. I closed my eyes, holding her like I might lose her again. "You don't have to do anything alone," I told her. That night changed everything. Because sometimes, loving your child doesn't mean protecting them from the world. Sometimes, it means making the one call you swore you never would. And even now, I still hear that thought in my head. I never believed I could call the police on my own daughter. But if it meant saving her, I'd make that call again, every single time. If you like this story, or it speaks to you, please, like, share, comment, and turn on your notification bells for more powerful stories. Stories that stay with you long after they end. Thanks for watching.